ATB Travel Talks 2023. Jetzt hier bei mir Timothy Dyer für den Markt Indonesien von Miki Travel, eine Reisefirma, die in London sitzt und viele internationale Märkte bedient und Connections herstellt. In unserem Fall ist speziell interessant, dass sie FIT-Gruppen bedienen. Also das ist ein wichtiger Teil, wo Österreich als Teil einer Europatour auftritt, und da gibt es noch kein klares Image, so wie es ausschaut, werden wir noch reden. Am Programm sind da vor allem die Major Sites, also Wien, Salzburg, natürlich auch Hallstatt, ganz wichtig. Ja, Buchung in Indonesien erfolgt überwiegend über Travel Agents wegen der Visa-Thematik. Timothy, nice to have you here. Yeah. So I just told, your main focus is FIT groups, and it's Austria is a part of a wider tour mainly.
That's right.
So
looking at Austria in 2023, I've come here really to see all of the hidden treasures that you have, because actually in our markets, not enough night stay in Austria at the moment. Most of the itineraries are starting in Italy, going through Switzerland, then on to France and up until the Netherlands. And of course, we want to change that. We would like to add more night stay in Austria. One of the other reasons, of course, is there's a problem with the visa. The French visa is very limited because of the production that they can do has been reduced. Swiss visa is also a very bit of a challenge because they get so inundated with requests that they can't perform the visa. So we want to see whether we can use the Austrian visa, but with that we must have the minimum night stay of at least 3 nights to be the most number of nights in the itinerary. So with that in mind, I've come here really to look at the destinations and find interesting and unique attractions that can be given to my market so that they embolden their itineraries with Austria and add more nights stay.
as I have mentioned already, you focus on those major sites like Vienna, Salzburg, Hallstatt, but how open are people to go to other places? Because if you pick up something, you say, okay, it's not well known, but it's nice to get there. Will people be open to that? Also concerning what you talk about?
So the most important thing is to have places that are very Instagrammable and striking, so that they are considered world-class must-visit places. Also, they must be unique or have some special factor. For example, the largest cave in the world, or the historical place where this first happened. Items like where this very famous international beer is founded, or international crystal is founded, things like that. Of course,
so being conscious about the special quality and point it out. That's what it is about.
It has to be world class, and it has to have a unique aspect to it that you can't find in France or Switzerland or Italy. With that in mind, for example, the Kunsthaus, looking at it, a very decorative building. This is very Instagrammable, and it's in this Central Europe region. It's here. So we can add this as a photo stop or even an entrance to our itineraries. The Mozart and the Strauss, the Schönbrunn concerts and things like that really can only be done here. So I want to get all of these hidden treasures, bring them back to my market, then share with my agents, let them have a look, see if we can bring this into their social media and into their website so that the end customer can see.
Okay. So if you set up a tour, the most churches with lakes in 3 days, that would work for you?
Churches and lakes.
Like Hallstatt, that's because...
if it's a really spectacular world-class view, then yes. If it's just churches and lakes, maybe no.
Yeah, sure. No, it has to be a good lookocar point for
It has to be something that will inspire people that they must go there. For example, Nordkette in Innsbruck, cable car up and overlooking the town of Innsbruck. That place is very unique and special, and I don't think even in Switzerland or in France they have anything similar to that. So this kind of unique experience is the kind of thing that I want to bring back.
In Austria, we have to think about our qualities and how to sell them in this specific way. As you have, speaking about the Indonesian target group, what do we have to look at? What are your specific demands, maybe in terms of food and stuff like this?
So food, of course, is very important. Of course, Indonesian market, we have 2 types of market. We have the Chinese Indonesian market, which can eat everything, pork included. They also, of course, like to have the best schnitzel or the best pork knuckle or the best, local dishes. But of course, they do need to, mix variety with Asian cuisine as well. They'll have maybe Chinese lunch, local dinner, for example. Then we have in Indonesia a large market, Muslim market. But unlike Malaysia, which is very strictly Muslim, the Indonesian Muslims can accept pork-free food, even though it's not halal. So, of course, if you have Arab restaurants or whatever, it can be something to add. But otherwise, provided the menu is pork-free, it's okay. But they really want to have, if it's local, a place that they can remember, that they're going to take photos of the food and share with their friends that they've eaten there. So the food quality has to be good and the menu has to be authentic.
Doesn't make sense if you have maybe Austrian dumplings with Chinese
combinations.
No.
Chinese restaurant
okay.
for lunch, local
Either
restaurant
or.
for dinner.
Okay, that's important because in Austria there were trends for fusion kitchen where we were fusing our traditional stuff with Asian trends, so that doesn't make sense.
And Indonesia also will like a Thai restaurant here and there or a Japan restaurant here and there as well for the slightly upper class series as well.
I think at least in Vienna we have this, but in the country it might be challenging. But there's still stuff to develop.
So the thing to know about Indonesia is that only the wealthy are the ones that are coming to travel here. In Indonesia, they are millionaires. They have servants, drivers, and they live that life. So when they come here, of course, they follow group tours because they will get that service from the tour leader and from the supplier as well. They have big budget for spending in the shops. But again, when it comes to food, they really need the quality to go with that as well. So yeah, the standard has to be good.
After the ATB now, you already mentioned Nordkette, for example. What are the perspectives and potentials that you see for the Indonesian market?
I can see Nordkette as having great potential because, okay, we go to Titlis, we go to Jungfrau, but then there's a whole section of the market of Indonesia that have been to Switzerland how many times and they need somewhere else. They need to do something different. And alternatively, because of the visa situation, there may be the case that we really have to stay 3 or 4 nights in Austria and 1 night in Switzerland, for example. So with that in mind, Nordkette comes across as the best alternative to something that you can find in Switzerland. But there are other mountain alternatives as well, I've seen. Also in terms of viewpoints, for example, Grossglockner, that's very exciting. I look at the Salzburg area, Salzkammergut, and all of these attractions are very interesting that can embolden my itinerary. When I look at Vienna, I saw the Mythos Mozart and this very interesting sound experience. And this is something that we can really add to our itineraries. The Kunsthaus, of course, is a photo stop. Then, of course, there's the MICE markets of Asia as well. Of course, they pick different destinations around the world to go to. When they come to Europe, they've quite often picked Italy or Spain. But I think they should put Austria on the map. With Austria, you can have a very cultural, a very high-class experience. You can have a dinner show at the Schönbrunn Palace, or you can have a dinner show at the Vienna dinner show site as well. And then you can combine that with activities. We can also go to the village or the farm and have engagement experiences with the locals to make souvenirs together or do the food culinary experience together. Many different things.
Thank you for your insights. Timothy Dyer war das bei den ATB Travel Talks 2023. Jetzt am Schluss mit Perspektiven. Ja, spricht für Miki Travel und es ging um den Markt Indonesien.
Vielen Dank.